Today we are going to do organizing part 2, and in this we are going to learn about functional organization structure and divisional organization structure. Now, what is functional organization and divisional organization? When the entire organization is divided into departments according to the functions being performed, this type of organizational structure is called functional organization structure. For example, in an organization, you've got a department for marketing, production, finance, etc. Then this type of organization structure is called functional organization structure. And when the organization is divided into departments according to the products being made, let us say an organization is making a lot of products, like for example, Tata. We are going to use this example later on also. So Tata is making a number of products. They're making clothes through Westside. They have hotel business. They've got Chroma for electronics. They make watches. Titan. They make jewelry. Tanish, Tata Salt, Tata Tea, Tata Sky. You name it and they have it. So when a business enterprise is making a number of products, then they have each department for one particular product. Now, one thing is important, that the resources being used in these products should be different, and the machinery should also be different. For example, the machinery used to make salt is not the same that is used to make jewelry. The machinery used to make jewelry is not the same for clothes. The one that is used to make clothes is not the same for automobile, like that. So the basic machinery and infrastructure and the raw material should be different. Then when an organization is making a number of products, then they have a divisional organization structure. So in divisional organization structure, the departments are made according to the products. So let's look at the diagram. So functional structure, as you can see, production, marketing, finance, they are the pillars of any organization. These three departments have to be there in every organization. Apart from this, you can have number of other departments also, like research and development, HRD, human resource development, etc. Computer department. You can keep on adding as many as you want. But in a functional organization structure, all of them have to work in coordination with each other because they're all making the same product. Now look at this divisional structure. Divisional structure is made on the basis of the products being made by the company. So if a company is making a large number of products and the machinery used, the infrastructure used, and the raw material used is different. Like for example, for clothes, the machinery you don't use it for salt. What you use for salt, you don't use it for electronics. Similarly, tea, watches, and hotels, the infrastructure needed is quite different. So when you are making a large number of products, then the organization structure is divisional. Now remember one more thing, that under the divisional structure, we again have the functional structure also. Like for example, the clothes will have production, marketing, finance. Salt will also have production, marketing, finance. Electronics will also have production, marketing, finance. Each department will have production, marketing, and finance. So you can see that there's a lot of duplication in this. But since there's so many products, this is also justified. So let's start with the functional organization structure. As you know, when the departments are created on the basis of functions they're performing, then this type of organization structure is called functional organization structure. Now let us understand the advantages. First of all, occupational specialization. Now I'm going to take one example of marketing department. Now marketing department, everybody in that department, the supervisor, the superior, the subordinate, they are all MBA marketing. So what happens is they start specializing in that particular function and the efficiency increases because they just have to do about marketing. They don't have to bother about finance or production or anything else. They just have to concentrate on marketing, and therefore this leads to occupational specialization. Then coordination within department. Within the department, they are very good with each other because they understand each other very thoroughly and everybody is doing the same job. It is only with the other departments that they have a problem. So they have coordination within the department. This is one very important function of functional organization, that they have coordination within the department, because all the people, let's say in marketing, they're all MBA marketing. So they know each other very well. So whatever the boss says, the subordinate understands. So there's coordination. Then increases managerial efficiency. So if the superior has to explain something to the subordinate, since the subordinate is also in the same department and from the same field, then it becomes very easy to explain it to them and the work can be done very quickly. So what happens is this increases the profit. When there's operational efficiency, work is being done properly, then it leads to more profit. Then minimum duplication of work. This was one of the limitations of divisional, that under every department there was production, marketing, finance. Whereas you just have one department for production, one for marketing, one for finance under functional. So because the number of people doing the same job is limited, there's no duplication of work, therefore it reduces cost. Then training is much easier. Now, since the departments are formed according to the function, then the head of the department has to give training to the people below him in the same field in which they're already specializing. So there's only very limited range of skills that have to be imparted, and therefore it becomes much easier. Then different departments get equal attention. Each manager, departmental head, they will fight for the department. So suppose the CEO says, I have got 1 crore, I want to infuse 1 crore into the business. Now, which department should I give it to? So each department is fighting for their right. Production department says, you give us 1 crore because then we will be able to buy new machinery and productivity will increase. Now the marketing department says, you give us 1 crore because then we can engage some brand ambassador, sports star or a movie star, and they'll endorse our product and it will sell. So every department, they fight for their attention. So each department gets equal attention. The CEO cannot distribute half of each. He has to give only the entire amount of money to just one department. Now come to the disadvantages. Less emphasis on overall organization objectives. So what they do is they function within their own department, they will think within their own departments, and they ignore the organizational interest. So what happens is that they don't have much interaction with the other departments, and therefore this hinders the organization's interest. So the department only keep their own interest above the organization's interest. So this becomes a limitation. Then lack of coordination with other departments. See, they're very good in intra-department, means within the department there's coordination, but they don't have coordination with other departments. But you have to work with all other departments. Like for example, the general manager says we will sell 3,000 television. So if 3,000 television target has been made, then that is not only for the marketing department. Marketing department will sell 3,000 television only when the production department makes it. So all the departments have to exchange information with each other. So if coordination with other departments is not good, then that becomes a limitation. Then conflict of interest. Now each department wants to prove that they're very good. They want to show good results. So as a result, sometimes they're not compatible with each other. For example, the marketing department wants to give 10% discount because if they give 10% discount, the sales will increase. But the finance department says no, give 5% discount, because if you give 10% discount, then the profit will be less. So they are again at loggerheads with each other. There's a conflict of interest amongst the two departments. So that becomes another disadvantage. And then inflexibility. Since the departments are created according to the function, now these people who are working in a particular department, like say marketing or finance or production, they think they're experts in that field and they don't listen to the others. Like for example, the marketing department says that they're making shampoos. They say nowadays small sachet of shampoos are being sold. People like to buy them, especially the ones who are traveling, or even rickshaw wala, he can buy it because they come very cheap. And then you just buy it for 5 rupees or 10 rupees. And then if you don't like that particular shampoo, then you can buy another one. You don't have to block your money in an entire bottle. So the marketing passes that to the production department. The production department says, we are MBA in production. Now you are going to tell us what we have to make. We know what we have to make. So they keep on making whatever they were producing. So this leads to inflexibility and a very narrow viewpoint. Now, where is this suitable? This is a very important point. This will help you solve case studies. So these points which I have highlighted extra so that you remember it will help you solve the case studies that might come in the exam. So when the size of the organization is large, big organization, and high degree of specialization, they have diversified activities because the departments are created according to activities. So if you have a lot of activities, then you create departments according to activities, and there's a high degree of specialization. That is why we will have different departments according to different activities. Number of activities are there and high degree of specialization. There, a functional organization structure is best suited. And one example is automobile. So automobile requires a huge amount of capital. It is a very large organization and there's a lot of specialization in this. So that brings us to the other form, that is divisional structure. Now, divisional structure, like I told you, is when the departments are created according to the products being made. Now, an organization could be making a number of products. For example, they're making toiletry items, different type of toiletry items, but the infrastructure used is the same. So divisional structure is only when the infrastructure, the raw material, the machinery that is being used to make these products are also different. So this example I've taken of Tata only, which makes clothes, salt, electronics, tea, watches, hotels, and a number of other things, but I've just limited myself to these many things only. And under each department, they have production, marketing, finance, all that. So this is a divisional structure. Now let's study the advantages. First is product specialization. Each department is looking after one particular product. So they start specializing in that particular product, and they also have production, marketing, finance in every department, and so therefore they get the experience of all the functions. Then divisional heads are accountable for profit. If I take you back to the slide, each department is almost independent. So you can calculate the profit that you got from clothes or the profit you got from salt, electronics. They can be individually calculated, which is not possible in case of functional. So departmental heads are responsible for the profits of their department, and their performance can be measured against the other departments also. Then promotes flexibility and initiative. Now there's so many products that I've taken. There are many more products that could also be added. So you can keep on adding as many products as you want, because each department is autonomous. They are self-sufficient and independent. So each department has got production, marketing, finance of its own. So if you want to add a few more products, you can do that, which is not possible in case of functional. Then facilitates expansion and growth. So as much as you want to expand, you can expand. So you can keep on adding more divisions, and all you need to do is to have a departmental head and staff. Now come to the disadvantages. First of all, conflict. Now when the CEO or the top management has to distribute the funds to the various departments, what they do is they see that that department which is running a little behind, they give more funds to that department. Like for example, if Tata Salt is not doing as well as jewelry, then probably the CEO will give more money to that particular department. So this leads to conflicts with the other departments. Then increase in cost, because every department has got production, marketing, finance. There's so much of duplication of activities, and therefore that adds to the cost. Then ignores organizational interest. Now this divisional also can ignore the organizational interest, because each department, their working is independent, they're autonomous, and they have a lot of flexibility and initiative. They can do everything on their own. So when they have a lot of independence, then they become too independent and they don't bother about the organizational goals. So many of us know Tanishq as jewelry. We may not realize that it's Tata product, or Titan is also by Tata. So you actually forget the organizational objectives and you start concentrating only on your own department. Now, how and when is it suitable? It is suitable when you have a variety of products, different types of products, and each product needs different productive resources. The productive resources being used by different products is different. That means the machinery, the raw material that is being used by these products are all different, and where the organization wants to grow. Remember, functional organization cannot grow because all the departments have to work in coordination with each other. And if you have so many departments, then maintaining coordination with each other sometimes becomes very difficult. But this is not the problem with divisional. So when the organization wants to grow or wants to add more employees, then divisional organization structure is most suitable. So we have done both the types of organization structure. Let's have a quick look at the difference between them. So how are they formed? Functional is formed on the basis of function, and divisional is on the basis of product. Then specialization, functional specialization and product specialization. Then responsibility. Functional is very difficult to fix responsibility, because what happens is, suppose the sales are dropping. So the CEO says, why is the sale dropping? So the marketing people say that we didn't get enough budget, or the product was not good, therefore it could not be sold. Then when the production was asked, why was the product not good? They pass it on to the purchase department that the raw material was not good. So when the purchase department is asked, why was the raw material not good? They said the marketing never gave us the money. We never got the money to buy good quality products. So they keep on passing it to each other. So fixing responsibility becomes very difficult. Whereas in divisional, it's very easy because each department's profit can be calculated separately. Then managerial development, because they are all in the same department, they don't get to learn the other departments. They don't get to learn the other functions. Here, all the functions are under one roof, so it's much easier. Then cost, this is economical because there's only one production, one marketing, one finance. There's no duplication. Whereas in divisional, it is quite costly. And coordination, it is they have difficulty in maintaining coordination with other departments. And here in divisional, all the other departments, as a production, marketing, finance, they're all under the same roof. So they're all working for the same product, and therefore coordination is not that difficult. Now come to the case study. Let's see what has been asked. Suggest a suitable organization structure. And this came in 2012 compartment paper. So we have to see which organization structure. A company is manufacturing television, refrigerators, air conditioners, washing machines, and gas stoves using different productive resources and is on the threshold of growth, requiring more employees. Suggest a suitable organization structure. So I guess you must have guessed, but still I'll give you a moment to recollect. Yes, let's check the answer. Yes, different productive resources is the key and growth. So suppose the question says, quote lines. How did you come to know this is divisional structure? Then these are the lines you have to quote. And the answer is suitable organization structure is divisional structure. So I hope the difference between functional structure and divisional structure is clear. That's all in this video. Thank you.